creep beneath my boots. Looking for connection, but we cutting all the roots. Modern love is toxic, frozen in the digital screen. Texting through the shadows, coldest game I've ever seen. Staten Island, heavy clouds hanging in the sky. Nobody looks you in the eye, nobody asks you why. Nocturnal rain washing down the city streets, drowning out the pain inside the rugged boom bap beats. We look for shelter, but the storm is in the mind, leaving all the broken trust and promises behind. Let the rain pour. Track one is just beginning. Let the rain pour. Track one is just beginning. Let the rain pour. Track one is just beginning. Let the rain pour. Track one is just beginning.
How y'all roll rockets, gang, this shit up, man. It's like that. It's like that. It's like that.
Locked inside a square room, mapping out the moves. Every scar I carry fits inside these heavy grooves. Invisible wounds, bleeding on the checkered floor. Knights and kings collide in psychological war. You think you hold the power, but you're just another pawn, waiting in the dark until the bitter gray of dawn. Life on the chessboard, kings are bound to fall. Shadows on the ceiling, writing on the wall. Protect your queen, but don't forget the hidden blade. Trapped inside the labyrinth that your own fears made. Fears made, fears made, fears made. Smoking out the fire escape. 1993, trying to find our own shape. Playing Magic, the Gathering, till the sun comes around. Dealing with my ex, she was nowhere to be found. Detached from reality, lost inside her own mind. Leaving all the baseline memories behind. Yeah. Nostalgia hitting heavy like an old tape deck. Looking at the wreckage and the broken neck of the times we used to share underground and raw. The dopest structure that the city ever saw. Evictions. In this tech game since '02, coded through the '08 crash. Survived the pan, big cuts, now 2020 tweet stripped the cash. 2 years walking a cold pavement, 60 years deep in age. Begging Krispy Kreme and Best Buy for $30 minimum wage. Ghosted by a 20-year-old manager, database says I'm expired. A lifetime of masked architecture, but too old to be high. Facing eviction notice and shadow on the apartment wall. While I use AI to build real estate platforms from nothing at all. Got the keys to the mainframe, fingers programming the future tight. But the system wants me face down in the gutter tonight. Gutter tonight, gutter tonight, gutter tonight, gutter tonight. People block your number when the bank account goes flat. Corporate world treats a veteran like a virus in the track. If a man can't buy his bread because his hairline's turning gray, the machine don't retire you, it just put you down like a stray. Like a stray, like a stray, like a stray. But the system will fix it. Drive just a ghost in the concrete. The concrete, the concrete, the concrete. Liquidation of the soul, rent is 3 months overdue. Gotta let the treasures go. Listing my identity on eBay just to stay alive. Custom gaming rig I built by hand, barely keep dreams alive. World of Warcraft, collector's boxes stacked against the brick. Pristine editions from the glory days, now the clock is running quick. Box up the paperbacks, box up the stereo screen, squeezing out the last drop of the American dream. Even the wheels are commodified, no peace inside the ride. Turning the old sedan into an Uber just to stem the tide. But I can't even afford the gas to cruise the avenue, so I lease the driver's seat to another ghost who's overdue. Splitting pennies on the maintenance, counting every single chip. A stranger steering wheel, riding shotgun in my own damn whip. Box up the paperback, box up the stereo screen, squeezing out the last drops of the American dream. Total liquidation, everything must go. Clear the room, clear the room. Total liquidation, everything must go. Clear the room, clear the room. On tight rock and go you recognize this. Trapped inside the cubicle cage, drowning in the tedious text, micromanaged by a tyrant, wondering who they targeted next. Took a 20% pay cut just to keep the plastic chair. Corporate violence dressed in a suit, psychological warfare. The clock crawls heavy, neon lights burning into my eyes, swallowing the humiliation, feeding on their corporate lies. The digital clock flips 1801. The bullpen is a graveyard, everyone is gone. In the silence, something snaps inside the spine. Grab the umbrella by the handle, crossing over the line. Smashed it down on a particle board, raining blows on the desk. Splinters flying in the dark, turning the office to a wreck. Broke the metal frame in half, heavy breathing in the quiet. One broken umbrella for a one-man riot. Clean your desk.
inside the office.
Late 20s, pockets full but the room is cold. Story of a city ghost that never was told. On paper I'm winning, smart, earning, direct and clean, but I'm just a cog trapped inside the neon machine. Moving from city to city since I was a little kid. Never had a core group of friends, everything we did just scattered to the wind. College spent in the haze, graduated straight into COVID, remote control days.
Now I'm clocking 80 hours a week on the grind. No time to live, no space to clear out my mind. Filling up the empty gaps with Netflix in the gym. Drowning out the silence with the liquor to the brim.
Packed my bags for New York, looking for a brand new start. Met an unrequited love that tore the blueprint apart. Now I'm riding the 4 train, surrounded by 1,000 faces, but I don't know how to talk or connect in these crowded spaces. Losing touch with the past, the old links start to fade. Just another rich shadow in the fortress that I made.
80 hours. Nothing wrong with me on paper, right? Just a ghost in the city that never sleeps. Track 8, the final curtain. We out.
Destroyed my school. I will not stop.
Yo, this is the chronicle of a kid light as the wind, but carrying thunder deep within the spine. Bruce Lee, the dragon who never asked for permission. Born under neon curtains, San Francisco destiny. Raised in Hong Kong with a path made of heresy. He wasn't giant, wasn't built like a tower, but the blade in his eyes held supreme power. Narrow alleys, lightning fist learning through the night. Every hit he took became a wing for his flight. Wing chun in the marrow, discipline in the breath. Every step was silence, every strike dealing death. Didn't just hunt for muscle, he was chasing the true. The body as a weapon, the mind breaking through. They whispered, stay in your lane, you can't play the king. He answered with the knuckles, let the concrete rain. Be water, my brother, take shape and just flow. If a wall's in your way, you shatter the blow. Unchained dragon, fire locked in the chest. Bruce Lee walks forever with the dreamers and the best. Be water, my brother, slide through the cracks. The world locks the gates, you break down the tracks. You don't need to be giant to leave a deep scar. Just hunger, the vision, and a reach for the star. Touchdown in America, empty pockets, heavy mind. Selling more than just kicks, he was shifting the line. Opened up schools, broke the dogmas of old. Mixing styles and cultures in the world so cold. Jeet Kune Do, intercepting the fist. No kiddies, no chains on the martial arts list. Absorbed what is youthful, let the rest hit the floor. A street philosophy that still breathes at the core. Hollywood watch but couldn't decode the cipher. Too Chinese for the suits, too real for the lifer. Giving them the minor roles, a shadow in the back. But he had the dragon burning on the track. Then the cinema exploded, strike after strike. Wasn't just action, it was lightning on the mic. Every kick a signature, every howl a spark. Leaving the theater, frozen in the dark. He didn't play the warrior, he lived the design. Small in the stature, a giant in the mind. Stand against the red tape, fighting the bias. Against the gatekeepers, trying to deny us. Passed away too soon, July 2073. But when certain stars fall, they light up the debris. The flesh is long gone, but the myth stays awake. Every basement has his ghost, every crown he would take. It wasn't just a fist, it wasn't just a movie scene. It was hunger to study the raw discipline. It was turning every no into a silver screen. Be water, my brother, don't snap on the strain. Change the shape of the hurt, flip the power in the pain. Unchained dragon legend with no end in sight. Bruce Lee lies where the limit meets the night. Be water, my brother, breathe deep and attack. Don't copy the world, pave your own track. You don't need a crown to rule over the land. Just a soul on fire and the grit to make a stand. blade, step across the hardwood floor. The lightning strike hitting before your thoughts can explore. Carry no anger in my veins, just control blazing fire. A small frame, but a mind lifting the world higher. Coming from the narrow blocks, discipline and starvation. I don't hunt for fake glory, don't chase the reputation. My style got no cages, no master holding the leash. Fluid like water, shifting angles to keep the peace. Every fist is philosophy, every kick is the absolute truth. The mind never bends, the body follows the youth. Burning like a comet across the cinematic scene. Too fast for the camera, too real for the screen.
I step out from the silence, sweating the trial. From the worn out black belt, the block without a smile. I don't talk too much, let the rounds do the speech. Solid stance, fixed glare, no clowns within reach. Karate locked in the bones, militarily disciplined tight. A clean, heavy shot, don't need a scream in the night. On the canvas, respect on the set, focus sharp. Didn't enter for the fame, just checking the chart. Blonde hair, cold grit, western urban glare in the eyes. But in front of the dragon, I shake hands, no lies. Cause a true warrior knows the level of the next. No room for the hatred when the skill is supreme text.
Icons of the 70s, burning up the celluloid track. Kicks in the air, making the theater shiver in the back. One flows like water, the other stands like a stone wall. Two legends on the screen, the history will never fall. Dragon and the wolf, light in the cold steel. Respect before the impact, heart in the combat we feel. Wasn't just cinema, wasn't just a stage display. It was martial arts rushing through the veins every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. At the Coliseum, brother, it wasn't just a brawl. It was East meets West, standing tall by the wall. Every calculated step, every razor sharp breath. Two worlds face to face, facing life, dodging death. I didn't want to win, just to step on your name. Wanted to show the world a whole different game. Power without a mind is just noise in the street. But the master of the body makes the grandeur complete.
And I stood right there, firm in the eye of the storm. Knowing that moment would break the standing form. Wasn't humiliation, it was pure consecration. A cinematic dude that defined a generation. You were pure lightning, I was a wall in the sand. But the respect between warriors always commands. The crowd sees the kick, but the wise see the art. Two real men standing, not just posters on the chart. No digital effects, no shortcuts in the frame. Just hardened bodies, eyes filled with the history of the game. Tough hands, calm heart, and the whole theater holding its breath in the dark. Icons of the 70s, burning up the celluloid track. Icons of the 70s, burning up the celluloid track. With the dragon, Chuck Norris, the warrior, the dragon, Chuck Norris, the warrior, Bruce Lee, with the dragon, Chuck Norris, warrior, the warrior, Bruce Lee, the dragon, Chuck Norris, the warrior, Bruce Lee, the dragon, Chuck Norris, the warrior,